Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today is March 4th, 2021, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the U.S. markets trade lower. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day, OPEC meetings happening all day, which should affect the price of oil going into the next quarter. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the currencies, really unchanged when we look at the British pound and the euro. Markets are consolidating after that bounce. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ tumble yesterday. And looking at the commodities, gold trading lower to 1,700, while oil pushes higher and looks relatively strong at $61 a barrel. Now, looking at the stocks, it's really the technology sector that led the market lower, including FANG stocks and Tesla. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, retracing at that 50K resistance. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So just to highlight what a non-event looks like, we're looking at the GBP at a 4-hour chart. And pretty much you can see how much we consolidated yesterday between 139.37-ish level and 139.73, which is really a 40 pip area. I mean, that's on the extremities if you're really perfect to buy and sell it. So in these type of situation, looks like a bull flag. Okay. However, just take it into consideration. I would look to buy the bottom of it, like a closer to this 139.40-ish level, in anticipation is going to make a correction on the upside. Now, looking at commodities, okay, because right now, commodities are really trading kind of well right now with what's going on with the markets. We're looking at gold retracing down to 1,700 and then bouncing off of it. So relatively, this has become a new support level, a significant support level for the price of gold. Okay, we could be trading between this relatively tight range of 1748 and 1700. Now, jumping into oil, this is where it's at today as OPEC is meeting and discussing output for the next quarter. And we are trading at $61.80, a nice pivot above our 30-day moving average. And so if this can sustain this above this area, we could certainly see it above 63.85. But just remember, today is really a major news event, so it's going to be kind of choppy going into today's trading. Now, jumping into the Dow Jones, it's now right now bouncing at 31,200-ish level. We were right here on Monday as we've tried to challenge this 31,600-ish level. I mean, we're relatively in a great trading range altogether, as this has really been, you know, a roller coaster of a ride this week, about 400 to 500 points range. Okay, now around these areas, this is where it gets choppy. Okay, and the reason it's getting choppy is because not everything is going down and not everything is sustaining the market higher. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, though, you saw that it tumbled here. Okay, it showed relative weakness at this 13,300-ish level as the market was trading higher. The NASDAQ wasn't. Okay, and that was a sure tell sign to let us know that this was going to tumble. Now, looking at the individual stocks, okay, so Amazon was the one that led us lower. Okay, now this has been the first case since we've been in this area since October at $3,000 a share. Now, we're down only about 300 to 400 points, but relatively that's significant. Okay, for the price of Amazon, that's really significant. Apple also down. If we look at Microsoft, also down. So we're seeing some weakness in the technology sector, okay, as the consolidation is happening, as we're making the rotation. Now, looking at JP Morgan, though, just off of its all-time highs by about 30 cents, okay? So we are seeing some strength in the Dow Jones, ironically, so something to consider going into today's trading session. Looking at Alcoa, we broke even higher, 30,073, unreal. Okay, as the markets, like I said, are making rotations. So this is making all-time new highs for the year, while the technology sector is breaking down. Okay, so again, it's a rotation, and it happens. Okay, it doesn't mean that it just means that the markets are kind of digesting this overprice of some of the technology sector. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, this is really important because every time we hit this 51,000, we retrace, okay? And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Couldn't sustain it at that 52 after it pushed higher. And we're right now at 49,076. Now, at these areas, we're really just trading sideways, okay? For all intents and purposes, until we break above the 52,000 and sustain it. I don't think we're going to be breaking out higher. Now, are we in a minor upwards trend? Yeah, you could still say that. I mean, look, if I draw a line here, okay, from the bottom, it's still sustaining it. It hasn't really broken it, but I think we're going to be trading sideways at this area. So something to consider going into today's trading session. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.